Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how are you? This is Damaris Mayer-Grossman, and we're doing a series on vitamins and minerals and ways of getting nutritional value and things that are necessary in the body, whether it's in a supplement form, and really the most natural form is getting things eating, what you put into your body and not just having to take a supplement. So then the goal is, eat your way to better health, not, just take something. The reason the supplements are available for people is because they're just not getting the right amount of nutritional value, vitamins, minerals, or what have you to get the needs. I'm talking about today dietary fiber. So why do we need dietary fiber? What are the benefits of dietary fiber? And is there good, bad? And what would you recommend? So let's talk about dietary fiber. There is soluble versus insoluble. So ways of soluble is things that are like apples that contain soluble fiber, like the peel, but that's insoluble. So things that are absorbed through water and things that are not. So when it's not absorbed through water, and soluble, and things that are soluble, they kind of make you more fuller. Now, why is it important to have quality amounts of soluble fiber? It helps decrease, absorption of dietary sugars and fats. It helps with your overall digestion. So, the GI tract starts from when you start chewing your food all the way down out to it going into the toilet. So, chewing your food mindfully, eating these fibrous foods to help push and clear out any of the excess. The insoluble fibers help promote regular bowel movements, prevent constipation, softening and adding bulk to the stool as needed. It helps balance sugar levels. The soluble fiber will slow down the absorption of sugar. It will stabilize your levels and is really, really important for metabolic health. And it's so interesting. So some people are like, oh, if I just, eat healthy, just having quality amounts of dietary fiber within the body, and when your body is craving sugar, I'd rather you go for that apple because you can get the sugar from the apple and also the fiber from the apple than going for that candy bar. And, you're still promoting really good health and still kind of passing through things to help promote better microbiome and better prebiotic and probiotic health, so that it benefits and thrives within the microbiome. Because the microbiomes, your good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, your fungal, it's like a big colony of things that symbiotically and, work together so that it's nice and balanced. And, it really puts you in such a great way of your body to kind of get it all out. You could have literally 10 to 15 pounds of poop sitting in you. And when someone's like, oh, wow, I'm overweight, I'm inflamed, sometimes there's inflammation there, but sometimes it's literally you're full of poop and you might not even realize it. You get some of that out and you got to go regularly. I got to tell you, my PSA public service announcement for this one is, detoxification is actually pooping. So you may not know it yet, but when you clean your GI tract out and you go to the bathroom once a day, it's at a minimum. And if you're not going, there's a problem. You're not detoxifying. And dietary fiber helps with that. That's a big part. You know what I'm saying is that, it's really necessary. The soluble fiber dissolves in water. The insoluble fiber does not. They're both very important. They're both needed. So you get that really kind of when you're doing more fruits and veggies, mostly apples, a great one. Like I said, the peel from the apple is insoluble, will not absorb. Another way of looking at it is, when you're juicing and you've got all that pulp and you've got the juice. So the juice is the soluble way of juices, and all that pulp is still really necessary. So I'm not necessarily a big fan of just juicing. I'd rather you do a smoothie because then in that aspect, you've got the insoluble food pulp going through and helping you push through and get, all that excess from the intestinal walls. And then the soluble will help be absorbed and get all that bring in the nutrients. So I'm more of a fan of you doing more smoothie kind of realm, unless you have like a Crohn's initial that you may need to have more of a gentle fiber in the body. Because you really want to lower the fiber content, because sometimes it could be a little bit inflaming for some individuals. So, that has to be considered, because you really got to find out root cause. So if you do have some inflammatory processes, we have to find out what you can take and tolerate. Maybe that's just small bites of it. So sometimes people that are constipated, sometimes they have an infection, they have mold, toxicity, or stress, anxiety, or depression. But that if they look, or they even have their microbiome like dysbiosis, where that, those connections within the stomach wall is irregular and it's flushing out. So the fiber is not really working to the benefit. Obviously, if you do need to take supplements, there are options. But initially, let's talk about ways to get dietary fiber into our diet. Oats, grains, black beans, any of the bean families usually, apples, avocados, tofu, anything in the realm of like a lot of veggies will, push things out, turnips, peas, anything that will get your body into the right direction. Sweet potatoes, that's, really good ways of just like getting your food out. Brussels sprouts, things of that nature. See what you tolerate and what's good for you. Now, supplement wise, I do like Thorn Fiber Mend. Pure Encapsulation has a nice quality pure lean fiber. And Garden of Life also has another good option. There's a couple of other ones out there that I've used. So I mean, the big effects when you're having more fiber into your diet is, see if there's anything else underlying. Make sure you're hydrating properly with the proper water and electrolytes for your body, because, when you're putting in more fiber, you don't want to be backed up because you haven't given yourself the amount of absorption there. And you're getting in the nutrients that are needed. So things to boost it again, like I've said, apples, artichokes, greens, avocados, Brussels sprouts, chia seeds, you name it, I'll talk about it. But and then balancing out the fluids within your body. So I'm not going to say you have to have half of your body weight in water, but about 64 ounces of water, give or take, splash in some salt in there to get some electrolytes, or an electrolyte drink. This is your talk today about dietary fiber. If you have any questions, reach out to me at any time, and make sure you make your day a mindful one. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Mayer-Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.